The Penguin returns for one last dance with a great or little thing, and it's time we say goodbye to this great little thing. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. The 8 episodes are done. Batman Part 2 is the next thing for this show going forward. I'll tell you what though, before we even dive into the episode...
And even paid homage to Batman at the end. You just seen the wee bat symbol in the moon.
Yeah, I think at some point we'll watch that Batman movie. I think we owe it to Oz.
Even though I believe he's only in a couple of scenes in the first one.
Well, the only one. No, but I think we owe it to him.
Yeah, I know, but apparently he's playing a much bigger role in the second film, and that's kind of why they did this series, to beef up the character, which makes sense.
Didn't need to beef him up anymore, he's a fat boy.
Yeah, he's a fat penguin, man. Yeah, but, you know, we have heard that they haven't ruled out, as of right now, doing a Season 2. There was never any intention of doing a Season 2, but I think they left it open. But if we are getting a Season 2, it's unlikely to happen until after the movie.
They left it open, but there's not anybody left.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a Season 2, we're not getting it anytime soon. We're going to be looking at Game of Thrones, House of Dragons levels of waiting time here.
Oh, aye.
Last of Us, we're going to be looking at 2027 at the earliest. So
no, absolutely.
That's a little bit of a bummer. But it is what it is. Enjoy what you get, because, I mean, I'd rather... something be good and only last a short period of time than something drag on for like 15 seasons and be garbage. And this show certainly wasn't garbage. But we do end with episode 8, and Oz comes out on top, even though he didn't begin the episode on top.
No, he began the episode. He got took, of course. He's taken to a bar. I can't actually necessarily remember the name of said bar, but that's where him and his mama used to dance. But we do have Victor. He's cruising the streets of Gotham with the gangs that Oz put over a few episodes ago. They get there.
Yeah, he's trying to recruit them, but they ain't interested. They get to the explosion site and they're like, fuck it, Oz is probably dead.
We're here for the product.
We don't care about the Penguin, we care about the Blues. Victor then tells them that they're fucking cowards, and it looks like he's about to get shot here by the Irish guy, but the state of lawlessness in
Link
Gotham saves him.
Link saves him, but I tell you what, see the state of lawlessness in Gotham, the fact that he was just going to shoot him here in fucking broad daylight in the middle of the street. No, that's the only thing I've kind of got against this show, but I feel like that's just the way Gotham is. Do you not think there's just too many, like, there's so much crime just out in the open, it's like no one even gives a fuck.
And the officers that you do have are corrupt.
Yeah, it's like, there's actually like no sense of...
But that's the way they're going for it, run down shithole that everyone wants to get out of.
Yeah, because we even see like later on when Oz is outside, he drops a guy, and it's like, they don't even fucking care.
Drops a guy, that's a cop.
Oh, you know what I mean, he shoots him right through the eye. But anyway...
You know what, I think he was a decent character, we just didn't see that much of him. But I think he was an addict. I'm pretty sure he was taking a line. He was getting high at that moment, was he not?
Yeah, and he looked up. Good night, absolutely dead.
Yeah, so we have Oz, and he's strapped to a chair, and his mum's strapped to another chair, and Sophia is basically playing the two against each other. We get flashbacks where Oz's mum finds out. She finds a flashlight in his coat, puts 2 and 2 together, realizes that he killed his brothers down there in the sewage. And yet she speaks with, I forget, was it
Rex?
Rex, or yes, Rex. I mean, this guy had a Sopranos kind of look to him.
He was in Lost, this guy.
So she tells Rex about it, and Rex basically says, well, I mean, I can deal with it if you want. Guys like Oz can be useful if they're, you know, if they're manipulated, if they have a stern hand.
It's like Dexter, isn't it?
Pretty much. Or I can get rid of him, I can take him on a nice wee journey. So they go out to this bar, and Frances, Oz's mother, I guess, is going to... Is her name, isn't it, Frances? Yeah, yes. Frances is going to get Rex to take Oz on this little journey at the end of the night, but she changes her mind for whatever reason. Then she tells Oz in current time that she regrets changing her mind, and she stabs him with this broken bottle, wanting him dead because of what he did to her sons. What he did.
Was that justified, her wanting him dead? I think it was.
I'd say so. Now, we did... Julian was going to cut her finger off if Oz didn't admit to what he'd done, and Oz wasn't going to admit to it. Even though she said she knew, and Oz still wasn't going to admit to it.
Just shows you, like,
so
Oz took a turn to the dark side this episode.
Oz was willing to let them cut her finger off just to keep peddling lies.
Yeah, no, yo, absolutely, like, but they were kind of hitting us like, Oz, you don't even love her. I think he does though. I think, like the whole dancing with
Maybe
her.
too much.
It might be. Yeah, he's just
There's like some sort of. I think there's some sort of weird warped. As she did say that he was always too clingy and stuff like this, and
he's a big clingy penguin
he
bastard.
pretty much did kill his brother so he could have his mum all to himself. So yeah, he's a bit of a weird guy. Maybe not all right there, but he does manage to escape and he shoots a few guys. He carries his mother out after she falls and bangs her head, and then he shoots the corrupt officer guy, and they manage to make a getaway. I mean, he's tied in a chair. Realistically, you shouldn't be going anywhere unless someone comes to save you.
Yeah, no.
That to me does feel a little bit like plot purposey, but I'm not going to bash it too much because I feel like every show's probably done this at one point in time where you feel like a character's fucked and then they somehow manage to free themselves.
Yeah, I think it was like, 4-on-1? No, it still is a bit ridiculous, but it's not. I've seen shows do it where it's
I've seen way worse. So he manages to escape. He takes his mother to the hospital. He meets up with Victor. Victor says, I couldn't get the guys on board, which is not good. So it looks like Victor's the only help that Oz has. And yeah, he tries to get his mother some help. We see Sevilla then obviously pissed off that Oz managed to escape. She goes and speaks to all the criminals, all the gangs of Gotham City, and offers everything she has to whoever can bring her Oz first. So basically says, you want my businesses, you want my estate, you want this, you want that, you want the name, the value, you want to be the top dog here in Gotham. You can have all of that. Any one of you can have that. All you have to do is bring me Oz.
Bring me Oz on a platter and you can have Oz of this.
It's an expensive penguin for sure.
Yeah, I've never tried penguin. Can you even eat penguin? Couldn't imagine you can eat penguin. It'd be weird, wouldn't it? What is penguin?
It's a form of a duck, isn't it? Like, no, I mean...
Form of a duck. They're mammals,
Chicken?
aren't they?
Aye, well...
Obviously, Oz isn't actually a real penguin. We've got to bear that in mind. He's just some fat guy. It's Colin Farrell in a big fat suit, like, but... Anyway, I mean, she burns down the Falcone mansion, so it's kind of like, right, were you really ever going to, were you ever going to give it... I mean, it's a pretty big house to burn up, but end of an era.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess she's kind of not been true to her word then, because she did offer this to whoever brought her Oz, and already she's burnt it, so...
Yeah, so you got Chow, the Triads have done it.
Yeah, Link calls Victor, he pretends that, I guess, he's going to be on Victor's team. He's like, let me know where you are, let me know your location, but it's a trap. When Victor tells Link turns up with the rest of the Triads, and their plan, their mission is they're going to take Oz to Sevilla, and they do that. They meet up at a hangar before Sevilla gets out of the Gotham, so she goes to the hangar after burning down the Falcone house. Mr. Chow, the head of the Triads, is going to hand over Oz, and he's going to be rewarded with everything Sophia said. But Link then betrays him, the underboss, Link, and I believe is this his father, or...
I'm not actually too sure. I mean,
uncle, or is it... I'm not too sure. Maybe they're not even family related. He could just be his underboss, but I assume because of the age gap that Link is a family to this guy.
Aye, because I feel like his underboss would be much closer to him in age.
Yeah, if they weren't related. So Link kills him, and at this point Sophia's looking around thinking, fuck, betrayal. Oz and Victor, they're all smiles because they've managed to convince Link that they can still do business. So Link, Oz, Victor. And then we see all the other gangs, and we basically see all the underbosses. We see all the number twos eliminate the number ones, because the number ones, I guess, they didn't have the vision that Oz was talking about, Victor was talking about, and maybe the number twos, the underbosses, that they want on board with what Oz is selling. And the only way for them to get on board is for them to become the leaders of their pack. So we basically see all the number twos kill all the number ones in a little montage. Thoughts on that? I thought it was decent.
I thought it was good. It didn't need any more time than what it needed to be. So, 10 seconds for each kill. Ticks the box here. It was a nice wee montage.
I mean, their characters aren't one they really built up that much anyway, so you couldn't dedicate that much time
Oz, he loves the rhetoric. They look down on us thick. All that shite. It's like, they wouldn't give us the recap for shite. You know, he loves playing under the thumb, doesn't he? And even like his wee rant here to Sophia when he's driving her, he's like, "You've always been like that, Sophia." Has she though? Like, oh, you've always looked down. I think Sophia in the past bunch of episodes like been dishing out territory for free, and it's like, here, my father treat is all like dirt, so this is what I'm doing for you. I think she's. I don't think she is like that. Is she really?
No, but Oz is tarnishing her with the same brush, isn't he? So
He is. He drives her. She gets out. We're thinking, right, just like old times, the driving scene. Is
Yeah.
Oz going to put a bullet in her?
yeah, he walks her out into this like field that's beside the river, and he tells her to turn around, and she says, "I'll save you a seat." And he tells her, you know, good luck in hell, and she tells him that I'll save you a seat. She thought it was a pretty good line. She turns around though, closes her eyes, and the shot just never comes. But what does come is police sirens, and she turns around, and the police are there, and they're ready to arrest her because Oz has already spoken to one of the congressmen, or whatever their name is. What's a
Congressman?
congressman? What did I call him?
Congression?
Jesus. Congressman, and he has sold him the story of how the explosion, everything to do with the crime, it was all the Falcones and the Maronis, and Oz has sold this guy a story, and Oz and this guy they're going to be the knight in shining armor, and everything's going to be blamed, and all the murders are going to be blamed on Sevilla, and that means one thing: she's going back to Arkham Prison. So instead of getting shot and put out of her misery, she gets sent to the one place where
Fate worse than death.
Yeah, fate worse than death, and she's back in Arkham, and who comes in to see her? Julian Rush. So I don't know if this guy went and got his job back just to be close to Sophia. Is he like obsessed or something? I think the answer to that is probably yes. Did he ever truly leave? Was it a mind fuck? I don't know, but he's back.
But it's weird though, because he was like, it seemed like this episode he was like on Team Sophia, but then he's fucking back in Arkham, playing the system. But he does give her a letter from her half sister. No idea who that is, but here, maybe that's setting up for Batman Part 2. Oz, he grabs Victor, time to celebrate. We go into the hospital, and he learns Big Francis has suffered a stroke.
Yeah,
What the fuck do you mean?
What do you mean she's a vegetable state? Her eyes are open. So he tells the nurse to fuck off and get someone that knows what they're talking about. Get me a doctor. There is definitely Tony Soprano parallels, isn't there?
Oh, aye. It's Tony Soprano with a limp. That's what it is.
No, definitely. And Oz is just, I mean, he wanted his mother to say that she was proud of him. He wanted her to see everything that he'd done. He finally took care of it. All the Maronis are gone. The Falcones are gone. He did this. It was him. He's the king. But his mother is in a vegetative state, so she can't see it. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know. And that's pretty much the whole reason he did it. But, again, when he dropped her off at the hospital, was he not thinking, what's up with her?
Nah, I think he just thought she fell and hurt herself. Banged her head.
It's a stroke nonetheless, but he takes Vic outside. They go to the wee bench. They're watching over Gotham. We drink here, we drink a whiskey or whatever. And then what happens next? I think it's the biggest page out of Tony Soprano's book.
Yeah, Oz just grabs Victor by the throat, says I couldn't have done this without you, and proceeds to kill him. Victor pleads for his life, but Oz just doesn't listen, and he regretfully kills Victor. Basically, because I believe he didn't want to grow too close, and the problem was that he felt like Victor was family, and he didn't maybe want betrayed in the end. Maybe he felt like Victor could potentially betray him, or having that sort of connection could hold him back, and he didn't want any loose ends. He had to go in a new direction, maybe darker than he's ever been before, and he didn't feel like he could do that with Victor by his side.
Yeah, it feels like he's learned nothing from the past when he killed his brothers. I mean, I wasn't surprised by this. I thought Victor was always going to die, and it always felt like it was going to end with him doing this. But to me, I feel like they've just outright copied The Sopranos, because even HBO were putting up like 6 episodes ago, like, oh, look at the similarities between Tony and Chris and these two. Hopefully it doesn't end that way. It just feels like it, though. I would say this doesn't feel as... This feels more natural. This doesn't feel as ridiculous as what The Sopranos felt like when Tony killed Chris, but it definitely feels like they've just took it.
Yeah, Oz then takes out his ID card, looks at Victor's picture, and then just tosses it in the river and walks off.
Cold as fuck.
Cold as fuck. Oz is a bad man. The heel turn is complete.
The heel turn is complete.
He then goes back and he's got his Muller where she wanted. They're living in the penthouse, top floor, but she's not really in any sort of good living state to enjoy it. We see she's she's tearing from the eye. So I mean I don't know if she's like aware that she's there, but maybe just can't do anything, can't speak, can't talk,
can't move.
But we do see
shite existence.
Yeah, we do see her tearful eye as she looks at the window, and Oz is like, "I did it, Ma! I did it! I told you I was going to get you this." And then he walks out into the landing, and his girlfriend is there, but he sees her through his mum. I think he's seen his mum through his girlfriend, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, it looked like the younger actress that played his mum, though, didn't it?
Yeah, and well, no, it's his girlfriend from earlier in this season.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It looked like she actually looked a lot like the younger actress.
And I actually predicted her to die because she gave his location away to Sophia a few episodes ago.
No, yeah, I know.
Now I know Oz doesn't know that, but I was surprised to see it end this way. But he dances with her, but I guess he's seen it as he's dancing with his mother, and everything's right as rain is in Oz's world.
What a weird guy. And then we pan outside and the Batman symbol is at the sky. So, the Batman. Batman, he normally appears to fight crime. There's been fucking 8 episodes filled with crime Batman, Bruce Wayne. So where were you?
Sabbatical, maybe?
Sabbatical. I don't know how the Batman ended. Maybe he took off with a suitcase at the airport with his wee gimp mask on.
Maybe his wings are clipped or something. He's waiting on them regrowing. I don't know.
Anyway, this show's been clipped though. Big deaths, big fallout, big drama. Did it deliver? Yes, I thought it delivered. I mean, could Vic have survived the movie potentially? But I feel like it needed one more big moment, and his death was that. So I will give it an 8 out of 10. And I tell you what, that probably works out an average of this seat. You need to give yours actually.
I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 as well. My only, not that I think the show was great, but I do think it peaked at the halfway mark.
Yeah.
I think probably around episodes 3, 4, 5, if I can recall correctly.
I'd say so.
That's not to say that I thought that. I mean, obviously not. I gave this an 8, but yeah, no. Just for me, I do think it kind of peaked at the halfway point.
Like our average rating's probably like a low 8.
Yeah, definitely.
Or I mean, at worst, the high 7. But yeah, I mean that's it over. But we did say at the halfway point, it's like it's peaked here. We probably think it will get worse, but realistically, when you have to wrap a show up, that's where it should get better. But I think that's where longer shows benefit. And obviously, it's an 8-episode miniseries at the end of the day.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure this ending would be a lot different if it wasn't the Batman movie. So the ending for this show is always going to be hindered. If this is
it's like a Batman prologue at the end.
Yeah, if this is the only show, right? If this is like, if the Penguin's its own standalone show, you get a totally different ending. But because it is essentially, the ending has to lead into Batman 2, it's almost like the Penguin's true ending's either going to come in Batman 2 or in a second season of this.
Yep.
So even though it's the finale, you're not really getting that true finale experience because it's just a lead-in to a different movie.
It's just a lead-in to a different movie.
But now we see Oz, completely take the dark turn. He kills Victor. Sophia's back in Gotham, back where she started. Not good for her.
No, not good. I mean, she will be in the Batman Part 2.
Pretty much everyone's dead, and yeah, Oz is on top. Looks like he's in control of Gotham, and he's got his gang with him.
But see, I think Oz should die. But why does Batman always get the upper hand? Like, why did Batman, Spider-Man, Superman? Why do all these fucking nerds come out on top?
Well, I guess when they die, the series dies, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
It's
but
the Batman universe. It would be weird to have.
Oz is walking about with many Uzis and assault rifles, and the Batman's running about with a fucking mask on, man. It's just, I don't know. It's like, I feel like when you first see Batman Part 2, and I just see this guy with his mask, fucking take the mask off, man. No, I think it's pathetic. See, people are into superhero shit. It's just fucking. This has felt like a real, like, mob TV show. And then, like, the next time we see Oz, he's going to be rocking up against a guy with a gimp mask on. You know what I mean? I think it devalues it like it does for me.
Yeah, for me, I would have loved this to personally just be a standalone show that went multiple seasons. I mean, it's controversial. I think it's better than Sopranos. I know it's only one season, like, but
Yeah, I mean, the more I think of it, I mean, when you base it off average rating, it smokes it. Like, has The Sopranos had better moments? I think so. Yes, it has. I'm not even going to say I think so. But see, in terms of story...
when you've got 6 seasons and longer episodes each, you've got a lot more opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough one to say, because I think it's so different. But honestly, for a story, Penguin shits over The Sopranos. The Sopranos, for 13 episodes in a season, forgets about the story for about 10 of them.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're giving it an 8 out of 10. We will probably do videos ranking the deaths and ranking the characters and ranking the episodes, all that good stuff. And maybe we'll put a poll up as well to see what you guys prefer, Penguin or The Sopranos. And yeah, definitely at one point we will watch Batman the movie, and then I'm sure we'll be catching Batman Part 2 when that comes out as well. But that's it for Fog Entertainment. We need to find a new show to watch, so aye.
That's us. Wrapped up. Peace.